This is episode 17 in my All About Fall series. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you've dropped by. We are in the middle of fall, and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but a lot of fall decor is flying off the shelves in stores. What is a person to do when there is not any decor out there? You can take some basic materials and create your own fall decor. In today's video, I will show you how to achieve that fall look. My video is in part of the Chic for Cheap Craft Challenge, hosted by CRISTI Creates and co-hosted by White Sparrow Living. Both of the hostess channel links are found in the description box, along with the challenge playlist link. I found these beautiful Francesca two-door apothecary accent cabinet doors on Wayfair, but at almost $740, that was a bit pricey for my budget, even though it was discounted from the normal $796.40. I love the leaded glass panes, and I also love the wreaths that are hanging from them. I think they're rustic and farmhouse and just absolutely gorgeous. And I figured that I could probably recreate these if I just used a little bit of imagination. I thrifted these two frames, and they are not exactly the same size. One is about a ½ inch longer than the other, but for the width, they are almost identical, and I thought they would be perfect. After removing all the hardware and the backing, I placed 3 coats of Waverly chalk paint in white. After all the paint has dried, I've taken my sanding sponge from Dollar Tree and I am distressing the finish, getting all the edges on the outer corners and also on the inside. If you notice these metal fasteners that are holding the glass in place, they are very visible at the moment, but hopefully with another part of my DIY, I will cover these. I am using a black Sharpie marker to help me measure out and mark all my lines. I go ahead and trace out all the lines that will be the longest part of the bevel marks. And using a small cardboard cutout of a square to recreate the diamond shape, I'm going to mark the bottom row of diamonds. I'm going to mark these areas before I draw the diamond shapes because I want to erase all the lines. I'm simply using a baby wipe to remove the Sharpie marker. It came off with just a little bit of rubbing. And now I'm marking all my diamond shapes. For the edges, I will simply fold the diamond shape and then trace out the half diamond shape. And here I have already marked in the center area the row of diamonds that will go here. And now I'll wipe all the areas of the lines and then draw in my diamonds. And I follow the same procedure with the top row of diamonds. Now I'm taking a thin brush and some black chalk paint and replicating the soldering on the beveled windows. I considered using hot glue and did a sample, but because the hot glue does not come out in an exact straight line and does come out a little globby at points, I decided that this would probably be a better method. If you have a really steady hand and a really good hot glue gun, I suggest that you try to use the hot glue gun for your faux soldering. I'm just simply trying to use a really steady hand. Actually, all of this work is really therapeutic and really calming. I enjoyed drawing all these lines in. Maybe it's me, but I thought it was fun. And for this final section up here, I'm just going to take my straight edge and trace the last of the line in. Now taking some Mod Podge in a gloss finish, I'm going to spread the Mod Podge all over the window, and it creates a very neat, streaky, almost stained glass window effect. Hopefully I will be able to catch that on camera so you can see what it looks like, because it turned out really beautiful. I completed the second window in the exact same manner. And now for the wreaths. I have two grapevine wreaths, but unfortunately they're not the exact same size. One is slightly larger than the other, but with the use of these Dollar Tree flowers, I am going to hopefully arrange them in a way to where they look almost the same size. I just clip the heads off of all the branches, and I'm just hot gluing each one of these in place. And I'm arranging them in a straight up and down fashion. I love these beautiful green hydrangeas. They have the look of greenery, but they are also a floral. If you love the neutral look of just plain greenery, then this is a really good option. And now I'm working on the smaller of the two wreaths. I'm going to first place the flowers along the inside, and in order to create a larger effect, I'm going to place the second round on the outer side. As you can see, this is still not large enough, but I have a few left, and I'm going to just add some more to the outer edge. This will make it fluffier, and in the end, I think I succeeded. What do you think? Now I'm going to use my buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I am going to recreate that little sash that holds the wreath in place. And I'm just going to measure and cut a piece, loop it through the wreath, and tie it in a knot, and then bring it around to the back and hot glue it in place. My goal for this window is not to recreate an exact replica, but to give it my own farmhouse touch. I wanted to add a whimsical touch to my Halloween decor, so I chose this beautiful crow and pumpkin set to recreate from the MacKenzie-Childs collection. This crowned crow figure was $24. The pumpkin did not have a price tag on it, but I'm sure it is the same, if not more. I thought that the whimsical nature of the color scheme in the MacKenzie-Childs was perfect for Halloween. I'm using Dollar Tree items to recreate this crow figure and pumpkin. I'm first going to take this pumpkin and paint it with 3 coats of white chalk paint. Once that's dried, I'm taking my black chalk paint, and every other section of the pumpkin will be painted with a black stripe. I just very carefully paint my stripes. using the indentation of each section. Hey guys, if you're liking this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell and select the word all. This will ensure that you won't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. I painted the top section black. I'm taking this twig from Dollar Tree and painting it white. I simply hot glue it in place, and my pumpkin is done. I thrifted this really cute bottle that looks like a potion bottle. I painted it in black chalk paint and I gave it 2 coats. Once it was dry, I hot glued my pumpkin to the top of my potion bottle. And now I want to create my crow. I purchased this little cardinal from Dollar Tree, but his shape and his size is really not like a crow. So I really needed to do some reconstruction of his little body to make him look more crow-like. So the first thing I do is I remove his little feet. And once I removed his feet, I realized that even though they looked like little stubby feet, they were actually really long-legged feet, which is much better for a crow body because crows have longer legs. Next, I snipped off all the extra little feathers that were at the back of his head, and then the back of his head had a little bit of a crest, so I cut that piece of plastic also. A crow has a much more smoother head in the back. Now I'm taking this wheatgrass from Dollar Tree and I'm taking off the leaf and using it to reshape the beak for this little cardinal. The cardinal has a sweet, cute little beak, and a crow has a big, long beak. So I'm just reshaping or giving him, I guess you could say, some plastic surgery. Except this is more like floral surgery. I hot glued the top of that leaf to his head and shape it. And then I hot glue the leaf together to create his beak. Now I'm using a sharp blade to cut new holes in the bottom of his body for the legs to go into, because the crow's legs are positioned much further down on his body. I'm also placing the legs just barely into the body, so the legs appear much longer, and using a little bit of hot glue to keep them in place. And now I'm taking some black chalk paint and just covering with 2 coats his entire body. Once I covered his beak, his body, and his feet, he really looked crow-like. Now I took a spooky eye from Dollar Tree, my sharp blade, some metallic gold paint, and I created a small crown for my little bird. But unfortunately, I did not press the record button, so you did not get to see that. But I did cut that out. It was very tedious. And now I'm just going to hot glue my crow to the top of this pumpkin. I found these 2 cloches at Dollar Tree and I wanted to do something super spooky inside of each one. And before I added my spooky items, I gave the base 2 coats of white chalk paint. After they both dried, I came in with some silver lining and just gave a very rough coat. I also wanted to make my cloches a little more dressy, so I purchased these glass beads in the craft section at Dollar Tree, and taking 2 clear beads, I'm hot gluing them to the top of my cloches. For my first cloche, I'm going to recreate this very eerie and creepy skull cloche, which was $24 on Etsy. My cloche will be much cheaper. I'm taking this thick twig from Dollar Tree and hot gluing it in place, and I'm taking this mini skull from Dollar Tree and hot gluing him onto the stump, and I'm taking this dried Spanish moss and just hot gluing it in place. This glittery green bell came from a door hanger at Dollar Tree, and I liked the green color because I thought that would tie in with my greenery in my wreath. This skull is super spooky and super farmhouse looking. My second cloche was an outrageous find. This cloche, I'm sure, is much larger, but it is $72, which is really outrageous, but I wanted to recreate this. So I'm taking some reindeer moss and just hot gluing a piece down, and I'm taking this fern from some of my Dollar Tree floral, and this pumpkin also from Dollar Tree. I'm just removing this little clip that was on the back of it, and I will just hot glue that at a slant or on its side. And then to keep the fern in place, I will bring it up and just hot glue that in place also. This is so simple. I'm just taking some more of the reindeer moss and gluing some to each side. And to give it that really soft fern appearance, I'm adding some of this very soft feathery moss, dried moss, to the front. And after placing my cloche, I love this beautiful little cloche. These DIYs are amazing because of the hundreds of dollars that I saved by simply creating my own decor. I could not see myself spending $72 on a cloche or $750 on a set of beveled windows. As beautiful as they are, I could not see paying that amount of money. And I also had so much fun making all of these super cute DIYs. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the DIYs. I'd also like to know if you thought that my DIYs hit the mark based on the fact that I saved so much money. I'd like to thank my challenge hosts for hosting this wonderful challenge. Don't forget to check out their channels, and also don't forget to check out the challenge playlist link. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, click on that notification bell and select the word All. My All About Fall playlist link is in the description box. Remember to always look around you for the beauty in your life. It's right there waiting for you to see it. Until the next video, have a great day.